Hi, everyone. Welcome to our newest edition of Del Talk with a very, very special guest. I am honored to have Molly Dowdy, who's a co-founder of Next Mortgage Events. Molly, you're an industry veteran. You're a marketing guru. You know a lot of great things in our marketing in our mortgage industry. We're so glad that you're part of our Del Talk today here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's great to be with you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to sit down and talk with you.
Yeah, no, in preparing for this, I learned a lot about, what you guys are doing. But before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, you have such a great background. Maybe you can dive deep and tell people watching a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I started in this industry, before it was legal to work. My dad was a commercial real estate broker.
Right.
This was before digital cameras. I was going to Moto Photo and
Yeah.
developing photos and holding measuring tapes and all that kind of stuff. And then I went to work for an appraisal software company, and our
Yeah.
clients were lenders. So our
Mhm.
clients were companies like yours,
Right.
and we were trying to disrupt the appraisal process, so make it a lot more efficient,
Mhm.
make finding an appraiser easier and faster. So that's what we were doing. And I was in marketing there, and I had
Mhm.
built a lot of great relationships with our clients who were these awesome, fantastic ladies,
Yeah.
executives at lending companies,
Mhm.
um, ladies like Susie Lindblom,
Yeah.
your COO,
Yeah.
and Yvonne Ketchum. And I just had the opportunity to work with them and talk with them. And when we would do client site visits, I could take them to dinner, and
Yeah.
it was my favorite part of my job.
Right.
So I was attending all the industry conferences that everybody goes to, all the annual conferences, and there are
Right.
so many in our industry, and there just are not a lot of women there
Mhm.
at all. And the
Right.
conference is not really set up with women in mind. For example, like you have to walk, a mile in heels to get,
You're right.
to your next session or meeting. And some of the entertainment at parties is like, that's almost inappropriate. And so it just wasn't a comfortable environment. And I had a friend who worked at another company, Jerry
Mhm.
Yoshida.
Mhm.
We would meet up at these conferences and talk about, business stuff. But then also we would just kind of dream about, okay, if we were to do a conference that women would really love
Mhm.
and that would make them really comfortable, able to really connect with each other and help each other's careers,
Right.
what we would be doing would be building a network with incredible power to
Mhm.
help women in our industry, um, with things like visibility, right? But
Mhm.
also with the connections that they need to make really big career moves.
Right.
So it has been, it's this little thing. It started out as, hey, we're going to have events that we think women are going to love.
Right.
And it has blossomed into a really great community,
Yeah.
a really great way to make connections that can move your company forward
Mhm.
and your career forward. So
Right.
it's been
That's
really
awesome. Yeah, no, I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. It's interesting you say that about events and those are small things you think about, like walking a mile in those type of shoes, heels and stuff. Like those small details do really matter, right? To make it easier for people to attend.
They
The details
absolutely
matter.
do. They
Yeah,
absolutely do. It matters a great deal. And we found that women were dying to connect with each other and help each other.
yeah,
So all we had to do was reserve the space.
yeah.
It
That's
was
awesome.
totally full. And since then, we've grown. Our
Right.
next event will be our 10th. But since then, we've grown into like a full digital company where We have a newsletter that we send out every
That's
morning.
right. Yeah.
It has helpful industry headlines. It's the kind of
Mhm.
intel that like people need to move
Uh,
their careers forward and their companies forward.
right.
And we are able to send out a Tuesday newsletter that's focused just on technology, and then a
Awesome.
Thursday newsletter that is a roundup of open executive positions in the industry and
Right.
recent hires and promotions. So it's a really cool like opportunities plus celebration.
Yeah. And that's all. That's a great. I think the opportunity, like you said, is something very creative. But you guys, you spoke a little bit about the evolution of what you guys have been doing, right? And so now maybe you can touch on that. Like you touched about the magazine. You guys have a podcast now, I believe. Are you guys working on a podcast
Well,
or media outlet for that?
we have several episodes, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Delfino, this gives
Yeah.
me a whole new respect. You are doing this like a pro, and it's intimidating
No, I'm
when
just,
we look around.
yeah.
We're like,
Right.
we want to do it at a whole, level that everybody thinks that podcasting is going to be easy, right?
It's not.
I'm sure that you've heard that a billion times. So,
Yeah.
respect to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, it's been fun for me. For me, it's all about introducing, companies like your guys' what you guys are doing, bringing you guys forward, expanding that, learning more about other people in the industry. We've had awesome guests, and it is a challenge. It is something, putting yourself out there, and but it's great. And I specifically like a lot of what I love what you guys are, what's been going on, what you guys are doing. And I know you guys have some really special guests. I love the story about how you're with your dad. I have 3 daughters, and I want them, hopefully they can come into the mortgage industry and do different parts of that and learn different aspects, Why is it important? I mean, you've had so many guests. Why is it important for women to be so involved in our industry? Because I think, we have great leaders over here, like you mentioned, Yvonne and Susie, Mindy. We're all learning from them. But why is it important for more women to be part of our industry and be more active in our industry?
Okay, I love this question. This is a
Okay.
really important issue to me
Yeah.
and to
Okay.
my
Yeah.
co-founder Jerry and to
Uh-huh.
Next. It's
Yeah.
so important to us that we allow everything that we offer to lenders is 100% free. So it doesn't matter if you are just starting out as a teller or if you're a branch manager or you're a VP. This network and community and knowledge base is open to everybody. And
Great.
the reason for that, Delfino, is
Mhm.
that I believe 100% that we're providing so much opportunity in this industry. There
Yeah.
are so many excellent positions available that are
Mhm.
open and ready for people who are ready to work hard and smart. And there are just so many opportunities. And for anyone who was in our industry that wasn't born with anything like
Mhm.
myself, I mean, I wasn't born with any wealth or any trust funds or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Right. Right.
What I have been able to set aside for myself and my family has been through what I know in this industry. So, and I think everyone has a very similar story to that.
It's awesome.
And we can help other people provide that, help other people by providing that same pathway and that same
Mhm.
opportunity.
Mhm.
Not to mention the direct help that we're providing people to home ownership.
Right.
So it is really it's an astounding opportunity when you think about it that changes
Mhm.
lives on many different levels, and that's why we believe in it so much.
Right.
We believe that this is a great opportunity for young people, people with diverse backgrounds, and there's just so many doors open right now.
I think that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that because I think a lot of times in our industry, especially like I look at my daughters and I look at people that are getting into the industry, you really don't go to college and say I want to be a mortgage broker or a loan officer. you almost fall into it. And I think that's why it's so special what you guys are doing, because you're bringing light to an area that really needs more attention, frankly, in my opinion. Because there's so much talent out there, and the diversity, and bringing young people in. I think if there's something that keeps me up at night is, how do we make more brokers, and how do we get more loan officers? How do we get more women in our industry that can help us grow and challenge ourselves? And I think that getting young people in here, and your guys' voice is so awesome. So thank you for that, for bringing that up forward, because I think that's what I worry about, right? Like with getting more young people into the industry. So I hope we get more. So if anybody watching, you guys got to hit up Molly. Okay, Molly will guide you guys in the right direction there.
I know personally 3 phenomenal women that I have gotten to know more over the years, who are killing it in this industry, who are directly responsible for building pathways for people with 0 experience to come in and do different parts of this machine. Basically,
Right.
It takes all different types of people, and there's just so many opportunities for good paying jobs that teach you how to build stability and wealth for your family, and help you help other families too.
Right.
So
Right. That's a good part. We all make a living, but it's also special when you help others as part of that, and I think that's a great point also. You've been part of a lot of great interviews. You see a lot of guests that come in, and a lot of great events. I want to talk a little bit about your events and what you guys got going on this year, next year. But is there a guest that stands out to you that it was like an aha moment, or something that I know we didn't talk about this before, but is there somebody that I know everybody's great, so let's make sure that everybody knows that all your guests are great. But is there somebody that you're like, oh man, it really made an impact to me, or anything along those lines?
yes. Okay, and you're catching me off guard because I did not have this.
I'm sorry about that.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
At our one of our in-person events, which we're going to get back to soon, but we have a series called 20-Minute Mentor, and it's just a short 20 minutes where a power executive talks about something that she wished she knew when she first started in this business. Or basically, what would you tell your younger self?
Right.
And a woman got up and gave a really personal, basically she had a really tough childhood, and she wanted to tell herself, it's going to get better. You're going to be able to kill it. It's going to be,
Yeah.
And the room was just so warm, so compassionate, standing ovation. That's the
awesome
first, standing ovation.
Like wow. That. Yeah.
And it was just, you ask which ones make an impact. I think it's those really personal stories. And it goes back to what we're talking about, that the mortgage industry, I have a loud dog.
Oh, that's okay. We're a big pet friendly company here at Kind Landing. You can ask our great marketing team there. If you ever come to our office, which you should come to Santa Ana, check us out. Everything is pet friendly. So I love that your dog's there. It's all good. And we won't edit that either. We should keep it if you're okay with that.
Well, he's whining because I have a visitor at the door. You can hear him whining.
No worries. There you go.
Yeah, I have to clap at him and tell him, go, go. So anyway, that goes back to what we were talking about, that it doesn't matter where you come from. There's so much here for you. So
yeah, right. Let's transition a little bit. How are the events that Next is doing, how are they different from your traditional events? First off, let's talk about that. You guys have some great guests. You guys have a lot of great executives joining, but how would you say, what's one thing that might differentiate you guys from other types of mortgage events, other than the items that we connected on earlier?
One of the biggest differentiators is that we really believe strongly in accessibility. Um, so much so that our events are open and free to
Yeah.
anybody who's in the lending industry. So, for example, we have an event that's coming up in 3 weeks. It's free to sign up online. And so many of the events, the professional development events in our industry,
Mhm.
even for the virtual event, it's like $500 or $600. And
Yeah.
frankly, that is out of reach to someone who does not have that kind of money or does not have the company backing and the company budget to do it.
Right.
So we want to make the intel that is shared accessible to everybody. Now, another point that makes it a lot different is the intel that is shared.
Yeah.
A lot of industry conferences, the speakers are the same people that you see over and over again.
That's right.
Let's get real. They're
Yeah.
all white guys, okay? They actually haven't been doing the work. They've been at conferences and whatnot, maybe. And so, what we try to do and what we are successful in doing is finding
Mhm.
these incredible women who are actually at the companies that are doing the work to
Mhm.
come and talk and share intel, pitfalls, what they wish they knew when they started the project. And I'm talking about really tactical things like technology implementations, all
Mhm.
the way to really strategic things like leading after COVID.
Yeah. Right.
So there's all kinds of content. It's 2.5 days. One of our 20-minute mentors at Next Summer 21 is your
Yeah.
own Chief Kindness Officer, Mindy Stearns.
Nice.
So we are really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Um, and then we also have a panel about it's just going to be an inside peek at Kind Lending with Mindy Stearns and
Mhm.
Yvonne Ketchum and Susie Lindblom. So that they're incredibly generous to share their time and share an inside peek at your company that has all this buzz lately. So we're excited to be able to share that with everybody.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for bringing that up. I mean, I love those are some great points. If somebody is not familiar with what you guys are doing at Next Mortgage, I think events is extraordinary. So thank you for that. I'm excited to see Yvonne and Mindy and Susie. I have the pleasure of talking to them a lot, especially Yvonne and Susie. So they've been great mentors, and they carrying the torch here really well for us here in building the brand. You shared so much, Molly. You shared so much. What's in the horizon? Are you guys, where can people register for your event? First of all, let's get that. Where can they go to your event and register for it?
Okay, you can register really easily. Just go to nextsummer21.com and you'll see a big green RSVP button.
Okay.
And just put your info in there and you are registered to go. And you'll get a link a couple of days before. And you know what a lot of people do is I know it's a virtual event, so it's
Yeah.
broadcast. You can just set it on one monitor, and while you're working, you will still gain all kinds of information
Right.
by osmosis. So,
Right. Right.
plus, we
Or
have a
mortgage
lot of
people.
fun. We play bingo. We're giving away like 10 Tiffany bracelets.
Nice.
So yeah, we have it's a really fun way that everybody kind of reconnects with each other, which we need so bad right now.
We do. We do. Yeah. I think us everybody who works in the mortgage industry is used to working on two or three monitors and multitasking. So you're right. You'll just pick up if they log in. I want to personally thank you for what you're doing, Molly. As a dad of three daughters, like we talked about, keep it up, please. If I can help in any way, if I know Susie and Yvonne and Mindy are there, but thank you so much for what you guys are doing. And if you want to learn more about Molly, where can they learn more about you? They can go to your website, right? You're also on LinkedIn as well.
Yes. So our website is nextmortgagenews.com.
Mhm.
And you can sign up for the newsletters that we talked about. And I'm
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, definitely Molly Dowdy.
Uh,
I would love to connect with you there.
yep.
I need to be more active on LinkedIn.
Everyone has to be more active on LinkedIn. Yeah, we try to stay active on LinkedIn. So, Molly, thank you so much for your time today. I mean, such great content.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was so great. Thank you. We even matched, not even knowing we matched colors. We're wearing kind blue colors. So thank you so much. So Molly Dowdy from Next Mortgage Events, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching our newest edition of Del Talk, powered by Kind Lending. And Molly, we will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.